Hello, it is Saturday, kind of. So since this week's topic is college housing, I figured I would wear the hat of my college, mainly because I bought it today, so I figured I would wear it. You saw it here first, me wearing this hat. And I just found this in my closet, and there's literally no other time in the world that I could possibly ever need to wear this. Apparently, hockey jerseys are only sold in extra large. That's not an exaggeration. You can only buy these in extra large. So let's talk about college housing for trans people. Unfortunately, a lot of times in college housing, you end up living with somebody you either don't know or you don't know very well, and this can be a problem. In fact, it's a really big problem. Now, the difference between being in a public space and being in your living space is that, well, one, you spend a lot of time there in the same place and with the same people. Granted, most of that time is probably spent sleeping, and hopefully your roommate or your housemate is not intently observing your sleeping behaviors. However, I'm assuming that you do spend enough conscious time in your living space where it's wanted, no, needed, that you achieve some sort of maintainable comfort with the people that you're living with. Especially because people that you live with will have the opportunity to get to know you on a way more intimate level than other people, and I don't mean that in a dirty way. Unless I do, which I don't, so don't even say it. Now, if you're trans and you're dealing with this kind of housing situation, then I don't need to tell you how or why these more intimate moments, like maybe being on the phone with your mom when you're in the same room as your roommate, or how you change your shirt in the morning, can affect how paranoid you are. It doesn't even matter sometimes if you're out to the person you're living with. Just because you're out doesn't mean you want to be open about the details of your trans existence. Now for me, when I was a freshman, it was kind of forced upon me, but it probably ended up being the best option for me. I had a single room with my own bathroom. There was nobody sharing that space with me. But some people, it's more important to them to have the roommate experience or maybe be validated by having a gendered roommate who they agree with. That was phrased weirdly. Regardless, you should always make sure that there is some sort of time or some sort of space that is just your own. And then even in kind of rocky roommate situations where it's really stressful and you're paranoid and it's not what you want it to be, at least there is something to get you through it, something to make it manageable, some time or area that you can just not worry about them just being present. Like, the mere existence of a human being should not make your life less comfortable, especially not in a place that you live. If you're looking into apartment options, maybe make sure that it has a bedroom that you can call your own, you're not sharing with somebody else. If it's a dorm situation or a situation where you are sharing it with somebody, whether or not you know them, whether or not you're out to them, get their schedule, write down their schedule, figure it out somehow. You can even ask them. It's really not that creepy because, they probably need to masturbate too, so they probably want to know anyway. But we're not talking about masturbation here. I'm just saying, figure out when they're not going to be home so that when you have a time when you can just be there in whatever form you want and not worry about them listening to you or watching you or worrying about wearing a binder or worrying about explaining this. Even if your roommate situation is really bad and they have no friends and are there all the time just doodling pictures of you in the corner, there should be somewhere you can go. Maybe you're gonna have to still wear your binder or worry about certain things, but there should be a center for women and gender on your campus. There might be a queer center, an LGBT center that you can go to and feel more comfortable there than you do where you're living. I know that I'm in the queer center on my campus pretty much every day for multiple hours, and that has nothing to do with my living situation. I love the people I live with. I'm very open, very out with them, very comfortable, and I have my own space, my own bedroom. But there are probably spaces available to you on your campus if you're in college that will help you with the whole being comfortable just sitting around and doing nothing thing. Any housing situation that you have in college is temporary. Maybe it has to last for almost a year, but it's temporary regardless. Especially if it's one of those living with a stranger kind of thing. Those kind of things are never permanent unless you really hit it off with this stranger and then you actually want to be living with them. If there's a safety issue, especially if you're in college, there's something that can sort that out. If there's any kind of safety concern, they'll get you out of that room, moved into somewhere else quickly. I would just like to give a shout out to RIT because I think that they're really a trans-friendly campus. They have a lot of work to do, but they've done a lot more work than a lot of other places, and I'm really comfortable where I am. They've always made me really comfortable. They haven't always given me the options that I wanted. However, they ended up being the options that I probably should have chosen anyway. Not saying that I shouldn't have been able to make my own choices, but I wasn't allowed to live with a male my freshman year, and now I'm glad I didn't. But RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. See you next week. Thank you, Sawyer, for this topic. You've been on the channel before, so it was nice to see you back, and I'll see you next Saturday, everybody. Bye. Come to the Philly Trans Health Conference. Get my same stickers. Same. Bye. Same.